Welcome back to the 90s. Remember CDs? One day we had to have a box this big just to play digital files. Now, since then, obviously there's been a huge MP3 revolution where the files are compressed to up to 12 times the original size. But in the 90s, especially the early 90s, we needed a big box of this to do that, and I'm just fixing this right now, and the tray is broken, so we'd go top load, which means we have to drop this on here and then play this. But what we do get is 4 times oversampling, genuine 16-bit quality when it plays properly. Still needs a bit of work. That's probably because the CD is a bit knackered. So here we have the second generation Sony CD mechanism. Here we've got Motorola chip here doing the decoding. We've got a lot of ICs. We've got a Chinese transformer there. A few television type things here, which I can't remember. But basically, all this circuit board here is doing a 16-bit conversion, and it's not immaculate, but it's pretty good made. And the rare thing about this is it's one of the few players to have a 16-bit coaxial digital output, which means you could interface it with the digital infrastructure, you know, a studio and stuff, which is pretty good. Now, since then, amazingly, quality's actually dropped. So, in comparison to video, which is actually dramatically increased in quality, audio quality's actually dropped. And this thing, despite being 22 years old, is still faithfully playing digital audio, courtesy of all these electronics here. Now, as everybody knows, CD was developed by Philips and Sony. Indeed, you can see the Philips logo. Where is it? There. So there's a lot of technology here. This was quite a high-end player. £250 this cost me personally from Hyperfi, and the strange thing was they said this was chalk and cheese compared to the Sony ES version, which used the same board but improved capacitors, which is the name I was looking for earlier, and output stage. But hey, it's still working. Here we've got various interesting things. You've got the shuffle, where the shuffle originally came from. Auto space, which gives you a couple of gaps to reflect if you're listening to quality jazz numbers and you want to think of stuff. You can program stuff, and the most bizarre thing here is you can actually program one track as a single and then put it onto shuffle, which is very bizarre because it shuffles one track. So a lot of computer technology here involved at the time, hence the price. And that was the time when digital was the name of the day. The Sony CD 750. Seen better days, but it's still working. Over here, well, you can't see that, but the disc is rotating here, and it's unlike a record player. The disc varies speeds in time from the beginning of the disc, which is in the middle, so it plays like a record player, but from the out. But instead of the needle playing, you know, picking up stuff, There we go, there's a shuffle there playing the same track. It actually, because of the sample rate, the only way around it was to vary the actual speed of the mechanism. So depending on where you are on the disc, the motor will actually spin at a different speed compared to the middle of the disc to the outer disc. Now there's a laser in there which you can't see, which is reaching up, and you're not allowed, well, you're not supposed to look at that laser because it's supposed to potentially harm your eyes. But isn't that amazing, the way that disc is wobbling around in there and we're still picking up perfect 44.1 PCM. It's not MP3, this is uncompressed digital, pure digital audio, very high quality digital audio, and this thing will outperform an MP3 and in fact anything else on the market right now apart from Blu-ray, but I'm not aware of any Blu-ray audio CDs. Anyway, this concludes Back to the 90s.